We're back with a Hardball Roundtable and Cornell. Tell me something I don't know.
Well, I don't know about this, but the superdelegates keep being a part of the conversation. Superdelegates. Well, people keep doing the math on the superdelegates, and even if Bernie Sanders were to take the superdelegates from where he's won, he's still behind. Yeah. There is no plausible way.
Well, why does he keep saying
outside
the superdelegates?
Outside of God,
he lost the primaries and the caucus delegates.
I don't know, Chris.
Laura.
So Hillary Clinton's campaign came out today and told the Huffington Post that she supports the death penalty for Dylan Roof, which is really interesting.
Tell me about the case.
So he's the Charleston shooter. He shot, I believe, killed 9 people in a historically black.
So what's your bar on the capital punishment issue? What's your bar?
She says for the most heinous crimes, and of course unclear what that means, except that the Roof case is one. And it's interesting because Bernie opposes the death penalty in all cases, so this sort of draws it.
This is where I have a problem. I mean, you know, when somebody goes into a Starbucks, ties up all the employees working at minimum wage, ties them up in the basement, and then systematically executes them, this guy gets off? I mean, where do you draw the line? Does that have to be a federal case? There's some horrible stuff goes on in this country.
Yeah, someone needs to ask her. It's hard to say the most heinous crimes and not define what you mean by that.
I do think so.
Marco Rubio coach his kids' football team next season because he's not running for re-election. Wouldn't it be more fun to coach football?
Tell me why that's important. Are you a father? Is this like
I'm
this?
A father, yeah.
And this grabs you that way. Let me ask.
No football?
No, I'm sure he's a good father. Let me ask you. I saw him at church one time. I am impressed with him personally. Let me ask you about this this thing today. Hillary Clinton gave a masterpiece speech today, I think. I think it's going to have an impact in the world community. All the diplomats of the world, all the foreign press is going to read it, and they go, pretty serious person running here. It was a speech I wouldn't have given. It was a little more pre-Vietnam, a little more in terms of U.S. intervention around the world, unapologetic, even despite the mistakes she's made with Iraq and Syria and Libya. No apologia for that. No Obama in there. No Vietnam era experience either. It's like she didn't experience that. Is that going to help her, that kind of a centrist speech?
It's going to help her with insiders. I mean, but you know this. Regular Americans are worried about their paychecks and their wages and their kids' education. You know, foreign policy candidates typically aren't the ones who are elected. It has to be a part of her portfolio, but most voters won't pay attention to it at all.
She basically said Donald Trump doesn't have the temperament. He's a hothead. He can't be trusted with a nuclear button. This is the stuff that LBJ did, if you watched it all the way, against Goldwater.
Right. Her gloves are really off today. I haven't seen her like that before, and I think it actually is really going to help her because it's appealing to people's sense of fear. She's using the word terrorist. She's saying, can you imagine Trump in the Situation Room having to deal with this?
The narrative that he's scary and crazy is helpful.
Okay,
absolutely.
The trouble with this is how we got into Iraq, fear of nuclear war. I thought it was ridiculous. Of course, Iraq was going to attack us with a nuclear weapon, but the Neos sold us on it. Now we are back again. We got to elect somebody because of fear of nuclear war.
I think, say what you will about the speech, I think she was also trying to get a reaction out of Donald Trump, and so I think it'll be interesting to watch his Twitter feed over the next 12 to 24 hours to see if he takes the bait.
Well, he just called her a crook again today and said she was lousy at reading the teleprompter. I mean, he didn't have to do anything. He didn't put any thought in it. You think he can reduce the importance of her speech by being so lazy, basically, and talking about, like, oh, this isn't worth my trouble?
I think one tweet from Donald Trump can take the whole news cycle a different direction. He knows that, you know?
Yep. Who won the news battle today? Ryan coming out, Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, the highest elected Republican in the country, coming out for Trump, or Hillary gave a pretty good speech?
Hillary, I think we're talking more about Hillary. We're talking about right now about Hillary's speech than Ryan. I mean, he's supposed to come out for his nominee.
Okay. Laura?
You know Ryan, as Speaker of the House, is not going to want a Democratic president, so I don't think that was as surprising as Hillary's.
Anybody here know Ryan? Anybody here really know Ryan? I don't know him very well. I think Luke Russell probably knows him better. Do you know him?
I mean, no, I worked.
What's the story on the guy?
Look, he did come out with an.
You know him very well. Do you know Paul Ryan? I mean, I think a lot of people in this city and American public don't really know the guy.
I would agree with that. You know, I mean, he stays in his office. He's not in D.C. He's back home Sunday night with dinner with his family every weekend. I think that's
sort of Peter the Hermit, isn't he? He's sort of like a guy. He's a good. Yeah, it's not a knock. It's a saint. Okay. Thank you very much, Cornell Belcher. Thank you, Laura Bassett and Amos Sneed. When we return, let me finish with the news we made here last night. You're watching Hardball, the place for politics.